Yes, siamo tornati qui su In Club Radio con Lions Den, la trasmissione dedicata alla musica giamaicana, alla cultura del sound system. Abbiamo con noi in questa puntata due ospiti d'eccezione. Sista Habesha, già dal 2017 fondatrice di Habesha, con la quale ha collaborato con ospiti di calibro internazionale della cultura dub e sound system. È un grande piacere per noi averti qui oggi in studio.
Anche per me, grazie dell'invito.
Diamo il benvenuto anche al Son of Jalaitin and Thunder, dal 93 Resident Sound del Notting Hill Carnival, fondatore e Resident Sound della University of Dub. Greetings to Shanti I.
Greetings, love to each and everyone who's tuned in, locked in. Yeah, thanks for your presence.
Yes, guidance. Iniziamo questa veloce chiacchierata prima di lasciare spazio ai dischi, alle vibrazioni di Habeshanti, parlando della nascita di quello che è stato back in the days Habeshanti Sound System. Yeah, we'll start off thinking about the birth of Habeshanti Sound System, from the times you played with Jatabis to the very birth of Habeshanti Sound System. Greetings.
Yeah, well, it basically started from home, really. Because we grew up in a house where a sound system was. My father was an avid collector of music. He used to get music sent over from Jamaica. And growing up in the late 60s, early 70s, the sound system was a place where a lot of people would congregate for enjoyment, for upliftment, for happiness, for joy. Yeah, it was a thing where back in the day, it wasn't based in a hall. It was started off from people's houses. People would clear out their front rooms, invite a few friends around, have some food, have some drink. And as times progressed, the sound systems got bigger. They were able to acquire town halls and church halls. So we had a few big sounds back in the day. Sounds like Duke Vin, Admiral Ken, the late great Count Shelley. These guys were pioneers. Even Coxsone, like Lloydie Coxsone, who's still a living legend today, that yeah, these guys were around from like the 60s and the 70s. So yeah, I've always been inspired by sound system, moving up through the 70s, going to school, building sound systems with friends and at school, leaving school, linking up with Jatabis, which Jatabis was the heavyweight sound of East London at the time. It was an absolute pleasure and an honor to be part of Tubbies, because it's all about the schooling and the teaching and learning your apprenticeship and learning your skill and trade. So from leaving Jatabis, we put Habeshanti together. We played Leicester Carnival in 1990, uninvited. We just went and set up and just started playing. We hired a generator and we just played all day on the park. And from then, it's been like an annual tradition. Every year we go to Leicester Carnival, except this year, of course, because this year nothing's happened for nobody. And yeah, Habeshanti's just grown and grown and grown, and as well as been just playing in England, yeah, we've played the length and breadth for the world. We've been everywhere with it. So yeah, that's a quick insight to Habeshanti.
Yes, we would like to congratulate for the 30 years experience in the sound system business. And we are so concerned about your 90s revival sessions you proposed in these months, back in the months. And which meaning has this session for you, playing vibration from the 90s?
Well, this kind of gave the now generation that never had the opportunity to come to the places like Leicester, where we started out, where we played every 2 weeks. We drove 100 miles from London to Leicester, because Leicester is in the middle of England, so it's in the Midlands. And we got a residency in a place called the Vauxhall Arches back in the day, which really kind of cemented the Habesha movement, where we used to do that every Sunday. We did that every Sunday for about 6 years. So the music that was being produced with artists like my home band, the Shanti Arts, with Blood Shanti, Keaty Roots, Blacker Mix, Century, Bush Chemist, Disciples, Word, Sound and Power, Robert Tribulation, many people, even Ja Warrior, who's present, still producing music today. All these guys were instrumental in making music, which is kind of the foundation of even the European dub scene right now. This was like the real kind of birth of the dub scene spreading into Europe. So this year was very integral this year to let people hear music that a lot of them ain't heard before. A lot of them's got tapes and heard certain tunes, and this was the year where we were supposed to present it all to the people. But unfortunately, we've got this COVID situation, which has kind of put a dampener on that one. So, but we still try to get it through to the people.
Yes, I. La prossima è una domanda rivolta ad entrambi. Volevamo capire quali prospettive ci sono per il futuro, per un futuro dove si spera che la situazione sanitaria sia stabile, quali prospettive, quali progetti ci sono per il futuro. Domanda rivolta sia a Sista Habesha che a Habesha.
He's asking what are the perspectives for the future and what are the future projects and the visions.
The visions is hopefully when this situation eases, we can resume in some shape or form a format that we can get the people re-energized again, because this has been a very kind of demoralizing time for everyone. And as you said to me earlier, you've built a sound system. You've only managed to play it once in your garden.
Yes.
And your neighbors called the police on you, unfortunately.
Sad story.
You haven't had a chance to exhibit what you have, or a chance to practice and learn what you need to learn. So hopefully, obviously we're going to have to do things a little bit different, because I don't know if we're going to be going back to large crowds of, for instance, IDG, Rotterdam, these big festivals and that. I don't know what the future holds, but we still will find a way of getting the music and spreading the joy to the people. So,
Per quanto mi riguarda, credo che la musica non morirà mai. Quindi diciamo che nonostante le restrizioni, nonostante il Covid, nonostante tutto quello che stia succedendo, ci sarà sempre spazio in qualche modo per proporre musica. Da produttrice, da creatrice di musica, poi è una cosa che non è che fermi perché c'è il Covid, quindi stiamo lavorando alle prossime release, musica nuova, e sperando che tutto torni più o meno come prima, cioè nel senso di poter tornare a proporre musica live alla gente. Di sicuro la proporremo in qualche modo, di sicuro le sonorità arriveranno.
E noi di questo vi ringraziamo.
E quindi questo.
In realtà quello che mi sento di dire in merito è anche un po' un ringraziamento verso tutti i locali, tutte le realtà che trovano la forza, la capacità, le idee, gli stimoli di reinventarsi, di continuare a proporre cose nuove, di continuare a proporre iniziative come ad esempio l'In Club, come Edone Bergamo.
Assolutamente, big up in club, Dimitri, Giulia.
Yeah, ma continuando, torniamo a noi. How much the musical production of Abba Shanti I with Falasha recordings, with the Shantiites, has influenced the style of session of Abba Shanti I sound system in these years? And how much, if I can, sound system culture has changed in these years?
Well, sound system culture has changed in the aspect that it's got bigger and it's more universal and it's more diverse now. And the music aspect, from before we built the sound, my brother Blood Shanti, who's the musical director of the Shantiites and of the Falasha Productions, he's an accomplished drummer. He's played with a lot of the Jamaican greats from back in the day. So, yeah, it would be nice if he was here to elaborate a bit more on the production side of the Shantiites and stuff. But for us, it was about making quality music. Try and keep it as real as possible. I know we live in a computer age and we use lots of software and computers to make music, but you still need somebody who's kind of musically trained in order to program these things to try and get it as real as possible. When we can make it live, we make it live. We more strive to make it live than rely on the computer. But yeah, the music that we have produced over the years, we want to be more creative than a lot of people like to remake stuff and, well, copy if you want to put, they want to relick and, we not really that way orientated. We want to produce music and even let the younger people see that, you know what, it's all right to relick something in order to get your skill base going, but you really need to come with some creativity and try and widen the perception of the music instead of having it kind of just in a certain period. Like if we keep relicking 60s music, we keep relicking 70s music, then there's no progression. And right now, as we see, even with a lot of the European people that have come into it, they've come with a slightly different perception than the Jamaican, Caribbean feel. So, it's about widening the perception of the music instead of just, roots music's diverse, man. It's the greatest music in the world, man. It's the most uplifting music. It's the most educational music. Imagine we live in a time of COVID. We've had people talking about this situation for the last 40, 50 years. Never thought I would live to see it, but these are things, especially Rasta has been telling the world about for years and years and years and years and years. Even the way how people want to be eating now with like the vegan way of living, that's Rasta liberty that. So the culture, the music, it's all of one educational thing. You can regurgitate that, Bez? I know that was a lot.
A real message, a real positive message.
Yes.
And then I will continue talking about your experience in the Notting Hill Carnival and in the University of Dub. How started back in the days, and what is University of Dub, your residency?
Right. University of Dub was put together by a great brethren called Raymond Judah.
Yeah.
who saw the need to bring back, because he was part of the old guard that used to keep the dances in Acton Town Hall, all the big cup dances with the likes of Shaka, Fat Man, Coxon.
Yeah.
So he came with a concept of, it'd be nice to get that arena back, because that's what we knew back in the day. Yeah, like Sounds would go and set up in an arena and get the premier sounds that were out there at the time to be able to come and exhibit what they're about and what they are doing. And it came at a great time. It came at a time when we had a lot of European students that were studying in England that made their first trip to England and stuff like that. So, yeah, the University of Dub, we did it for 21 years. Yeah, I've been the resident from it started, and we brought sounds from all over the world in there to come and play. So, yeah, that was a very, very important place where a lot of people attended and got their first experience of being in a real sound system arena, because that was like the Colosseum in Rome, man. That was the gladiators' pit. Yeah, the fittest of the fittest came there, you know.
True.
Yeah, no weak hearts couldn't be inside there, man. Yeah, the sound pressure in there, the heat, the vibes. Back then, people were allowed to smoke in dances and stuff like that. So the atmosphere was, yeah, it was just kind of
A
unexplained.
bit foggy.
Yeah, you had to be there really to
True.
kind of experience it. And it tied into the Notting Hill Carnival, because at the time we were starting to do our little Europe trek, coming to France, Italy, Germany, Belgium, places like that. So it was nice for 2 days, where we would used to go and do all these big festivals abroad. It was nice for 2 days for everyone to come to England and spend 2 days in the streets with Abashanti. They didn't have to pay. It got to a stage where one time the police started containing the crowd after, like, if you didn't get there by 2 o'clock, you weren't getting in the area because it was just packed. It was packed. And for me, it's our little contribution to give back to the people them that have supported and have come to sessions and have paid all year round. They know they can come, spend 2 days in the streets with us. 1 day is just all revival. I'm just playing music from back in the day. And the Monday is where I play all the stuff that is around now. So for me, yeah, that's my pleasure and that's my honor to give back to the people that's been supporting us.
Yes, love. And thanks, because it's not easy to really describe the feelings and the vibe of those sessions, really upliftment sessions. Ci avviciniamo in realtà alla conclusione di questa chiacchierata, anche per non rubare troppo tempo a quelle che sono le vibrazioni di Habesha. In ultimo luogo avrei una domanda quasi personale per i giovani che si avvicinano al sound system business. And what advices would Habesha give to a young soundman, to a youngster who is coming in the sound system business in these times, with maybe a construction of his own sound system, playing some roots music, some good vibes? È una domanda valida anche ovviamente per Habesha.
Well, it's like any trade or any skill. 1, you need to study. 2, if you can get an apprenticeship, you do an apprenticeship. 3, when you do get a chance to do something, it's nice to emulate others, but the greatest thing is to try and find something for yourself, try and find your own identity and your own way of presenting to your crowd. That's the way you build up your fan base. And, you know, if you're uplifting the people in a good way, yeah, you will get a fan base, you will get a following and that, because, you know, people like to come where music's been played and know that, one, they can be educated, they can be uplifted, the vibes are nice, and it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. So, yeah, it's just education and, yeah, man, study the greats. Yeah, because, boy, we all learn from great people. But, yeah, the end result is to try and develop something for yourself. Yeah, so you got your own identity.
Anch'io, come ha detto lui, secondo me la cosa più importante è appunto trovare la tua identità e quindi non cercare di copiare questo sound o quel sound, di essere come questo, suonare quello che suona questo, quello che suona tutto. Cioè c'è musica per tutti, c'è a chi piace il roots, c'è a chi piace il dub, c'è a chi piace steppa, c'è a chi piace tutto, per cui troverai sempre qualcuno a cui piacerà quello che fai. Sii te stesso. Soprattutto quello, perché ok, ho trovato la mia identità, voglio apparire così, però poi magari non ti appartiene nel tuo, così non va, perché la gente lo percepisce. Quindi è importante essere se stessi e proporre la propria vibe alla gente, che è quella che poi percepisce e comincia a seguirti, secondo me.
Yes, quindi l'importanza del teach the youth, di trovare la propria identità all'interno del sound system business. Concluderei semplicemente ringraziando Sista Habesha e Mr. Shanti, son of Jah, Lightning and Thunder, guidance and action from the In-Club Radio family, from Dimitri, from Dubstone Sound System, from the Mind and Nature Dub Family, che purtroppo non sono riusciti a raggiungerci oggi, ma spingono buone vibrazioni da anni con noi. Speriamo di rivederci presto, magari ad una session, magari proprio qui all'In-Club.
Assolutamente sì.
Abbiamo un sacco di buone speranze, di buoni pensieri per il futuro. Adesso ci godiamo un'ora di skanking session a cura di Shanti I.
Grazie a voi.
Love.
Bless.